Hello everybody, welcome back to my booktube. If you like all things romance and books, then don't forget to subscribe and let's get into the video. So for today's video, I thought that I would show you what is on my book trolley. So as you can see, here is my book trolley behind me. I have a lot of books on it. I used to have a bookshelf and I don't have the space for it anymore, so I thought I'd buy a book trolley and fill it with books. So I'm going to show you what I've got on my book trolley. First two books on my book trolley are the Lancaster Prep series by Monica Murphy. So we have Promises We're Meant to Keep and I'll Always Be With You. I have not read these yet. I read Million Kisses in Your Lifetime but didn't realise it was part of a series, and that is actually the second book, so I had to buy the rest of them. But these are in the different coloured covers, which is really annoying because now she's brought out of all in the same colour, which is black, and I'm like, why didn't she do that in the first place? I feel like she kept changing the covers, which is really annoying for somebody that likes the set in the same colours. So. And then we have a Ali Hazelwood book, which is Check and Mate. I love Ali Hazelwood's books and she's one of my favourite authors. I haven't yet to read this one though, but we have that there. I have Night Shift, which is, again, one of my favourite reads, and I've talked about this in a few videos and I absolutely love it. So we've got that because I had to keep it. I have Love on the Brain. We have a new version because the one that I did own actually had a mark all in the back of the book because I bought it second hand, and a few on the pages, and then I saw this in Aldi and it was brand new and I thought, you know what, I'm going to add it to my collection again because I absolutely love this book, and this is the one that got me into reading. So this is a beautiful book. I loved it. We also have Reckless by Elsa Silver. I found this in the charity shop for 99p and I thought, you know what, I can't miss it, so I picked it up. I have not read any of the other books in the series, but I thought, you know what, we're going to add it to the collection anyway, and hopefully I like it because this has been spoken about on TikTok so much. So we have Elsa Silver book as well. We have Love After Love, again another charity shop find, which I am yet to read. We have The Idea of You, which has been my current read slash DNF'd because I couldn't get on with it, so I've left it up there for now just because it goes with the purple theme, but I am going to end up DNFing this. We have The Last Summer. This again was in the charity shop, so I thought, you know what, this sounds good, so I picked that one up, but I'm yet to read it. A lot of these books at the front are the ones that I haven't read yet. Some of them at the back are the ones that I've read, but most of these at the front I've not read. So yeah, that's why they're at the front, because obviously they're the ones that I need to read. I have Could It Be Magic as well, which again I've not read, but this sounds very witchy-fied and it sounds very similar to a book that I've read recently, which is This Spells Love. I can't remember if somebody told me this is a part of a series, and I think that's why I didn't pick it up, because I was like, oh, if it's part of a series it's not going to make sense. So I've kept that as it is. Then we have After Love, which I've been angering over this for a while, and then I saw it in Aldi and I thought, you know what, it's brand new, £3, I'm going to pick it up. And I'm not usually a fan, I don't usually read LGBTQ books, but I'm not bothered about it, so I just thought, you know what, it sounds a good story, so I'm going to pick it up and hopefully I will get around to reading it. Then we have If This Gets Out. Now this sounds like a One Direction fanfic, which if you are a One Direction fan you'll know what I mean if you've read this book or you've read the blurb, because it sounds very much like a Harry Styles sort of fan fiction. So we have that as well. So that's my top shelf, and then we move on to the mint greens and the blues. In the mint greens we have This Spells Love. I have read this book. Again, I've left it this side because it's green. This is one of my favourite books. I absolutely love it. Was not expecting to like it, but I did. And yes, I'm not getting rid of it because I'll more likely read it again. And I love the fact that it's a nice flop book. I have Malibu Rising as well by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've not read any of her books. I have a few of her books and I have not read any of them yet, so we have that as well. Again, that was a charity shop find. We have A Date with Destiny. I really want to read this because this sounds very similar to something that I've read before, and I think that's the sort of thing that I like, and it sounds good. So if anybody has read this book, is it good and is it worth it? I found it in the charity shop for 99p, so it's not that big of a deal if I don't like it, but oh my god, it sounds good. We have Twisted Lies, which again is the Twisted series. I've only read the first one, I haven't read any of the others, but at the time when I bought them all together, which I shouldn't have done because I don't know if I'm going to like the rest of them, but I really like the first one, so hopefully the rest of them are just as good, if not better. We have a Page Tune book, which is Only Love Can Hurt Like This as well. I have this one, Before I Do, which I don't think I have actually read the blurb of this. I think at the time I picked it up and I was like, oh, I don't know, and I just picked it up because I thought, you know what, I got really into reading and I just like judged the book by a cover. So I don't actually know if this is okay or not. So we have this one, again, charity shop find. We have this one, which is from Carol Matthews, That Loving Feeling. Not read any of horror stories, but this one sounded good. Ever After as well. Then we have Back in a Spell. Now, I think someone said to me that this was a part of a series, which is really annoying because I think this is the last book, and I'm like... But when I read the back of it, I was like, oh, that sounds really good. And then someone was like, yeah, it's part of the series and it's the last book. And I was like, brilliant. So, yeah, I'm going to have to maybe read the first one, and then if I don't like it, I'm going to have to get rid of it. But there's that. And then I also have It Was Always You as well. This was in my very first works order, which was sometime last year, so I still haven't got around to reading it. So then I also have my little annotation tabs. Now, I recently bought these off Amazon because I just wanted to do the annotating thing. I'm not very good at it, like, but I just thought, you know what, we'll try it. And for how cheap these were, I thought, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Not like you can't take it and remove it. Then I also have some book stickers, which I was debating on whether to stick them on here or not, so I don't know, but I have some book stickers as well. I don't own a Kindle, but I like these book stickers, and I just, yeah, so I've got these. I still haven't used them. So then at the bottom we have Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did by Monica Murphy. Now, this is the first book in the Lancaster Prep series, and I didn't realise that until I'd read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. Some of it I was like, I don't understand what this means, I don't get the book. It's because I read it in the wrong order. So yeah, we've got that as well. And then we have the Mr. and the Mrs. When I read the back of these, I thought, oh, these sound really good, and they are by the author of 50 Shades of Grey. And I know that they were very, very spicy, to the point where it was like every single page. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about these, but again, charity shop finds, so I'm not really too fussed. So I don't know which is which, whether the Mrs. is first or the Mr. I can't remember. But either way, I have not heard anybody talking about these. And obviously I know her 50 Shades of Grey books were very, very popular, but I've not heard anybody else talking about the rest of the books that she might have released. So there's them as well. I also have this series, which is called This Man. Now, someone said there's 3 books in the series, but I've only managed to find 2 of them in the charity shop. So I have This Man and This Man Confessed. I believe this is the last one and this is the first one, so I'm missing the second one. But again, I've not heard anybody talking about these, but when I read the blurb at the back, I thought, oh, that sounds really good and interesting. So yeah, the spine's not even been broken, so I don't think they've even been read. But I thought, you know what, we'll have a go. And it sounds very similar to like the 50 Shades sort of vibe. So yeah, the second one in the series is called Beneath This Man, which is the one that I need to complete the set. Then we have a popular book, which is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Again, Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I've not read any of her stories, and I have quite a few of them. I have read a story by her. It was called One True Love, and I DNF'd it halfway through because it was getting a bit boring. So yes, I tell a lie, I did read a Taylor Jenkins. Oh my god, how small is that print? Jesus Christ. Anyway, again, another charity shop find, and the reason why I bought it is because it was popular on BookTok. And I thought, well, we'll have a go and see what it's like. Then we have another 2 books in the series of Twisted, which is Twisted Hate and Twisted Games. Again, I've only read the first one. I haven't read any of the rest of them yet. I can't read a whole series unless I really, really, really love it. As much as I did like the first one, I didn't want to then pick up another one in case I got bored and I didn't like it. So I gave myself a break a little bit and read other books, but I haven't yet picked any of the other ones up. So yes, I have to pick this one up, obviously the second one, this is the third one, and then the other one is the last one. So, and I like how they've put the numbers on the books so you don't get mixed up, whereas the Lancaster Prep series don't have numbers on, and it really annoyed me because it was like, well, I'd already read the second one and not the first one. So we have a Christmas book, which is Just Like Magic. I bought this last year, I'm yet to read it. I will get around to reading it this year. I don't read Christmas books unless it's near Christmas because I just don't. I don't know why, I just don't. So there's that. And then we also have If I Can't Have You. Again, I found this in a charity shop and I really like the sound of it, so there's that as well. I have the second book in the Two Wrongs Make a Right series. This is about her sister. I'm yet to read it. I think I started to read it on holiday, but then I sort of put it down because I was enjoying my holiday, so I didn't really read a lot of it on holiday. And I love Two Wrongs Make a Right, and this is about her sisters. This is about Bee's sister, Katrina, and I love that story, so hopefully this one is just as good. And then we also have 2 of the Secret books. So we have The Secret and The Magic. I have these 2 as well. Again, they're different formats. One's a hardback, one's a paperback, really annoying, and one's massive and one's small. But yeah, there's them. And again, both charity shop finds. So that is the front. Oh, and I also have my little mini books that I make in here. I haven't made them for a while, so I need to update them, but there's my little mini books in there as well. And then if we turn my trolley around, we'll find even, oh my god, I thought I'd snapped it then. We have even more books. So of course I have the 50 Shades of Grey books. I bought these with the intention of rereading them. I have not reread them yet. So they are still there, the number 1, 2 and 3, and then Grey. I have a Crystals book for beginners, which is here, because I'm into that sort of thing. I like those sort of books to look at. I have Things We Hide from the Light. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, you'll know how much I absolutely hated the first one. I did not like it, but the second one, I absolutely loved it. So I'm hoping either this is an okay book or a really good book, because it'll be a wasted journey, because I have read the other two. Now, like I said, really enjoyed the second one, but the first one, I bought the first one and then I bought the second one without reading the first one, which is kind of a mistake because I didn't know everyone was going to like the first one. Didn't like the first one, but the second one, so much better. I loved it. So hopefully this one is just as good. And really that should be in my purple side, but this one's just a bit random because I can't get them all on the other side. Then I have This Is How You Fall in Love. This one was an okay read. It didn't have a lot of spice in it. I gave it like 4 stars, but it was an alright book and I probably would reread it again. That's why I've kept it, so I've got that. I also have 2 of the Harry Potter series. I have Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows. These are first editions. And then I also have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire as well. It didn't have any cover on it. Again, charity shops. Get a lot of my books from the charity shop, but it didn't have a cover on it, and I think this is a first edition as well, and I was trying to collect them, but they're the only ones I've got so far. Then in the middle I have, of course, The Things We Hide from the Light. Again, like I said, this is my favourite out of the series. This was the best one. I rated this 5 stars. The other one, I think I rated it 1 star. I think it was more so the characters and the way that it was wrote, and the way that the descriptions of stuff in it wasn't to an extent where it didn't need it to be. Whereas this one, it was like straight to the point, and the characters were just beautiful. So we have that as well. Then we have The Cheat Sheet. I love this book. This is one of my favourite books. It's a very quick read, so if you want a bit of a, you know, a fast pace, not really a fast pace, but if you want a book that's quick read, I'd suggest this one, especially if you like your romance books. This one is really nice. Friends to Lovers. Oh, I think I read about 300 pages all in one sitting. I think it took me like 2 days to read, so yeah, this was a really nice read. I have The Soulmates, which I've recently spoken about. Not my favourite book. I've just kept it there for now until I do a DNF video. Again, this is from a charity shop, so it doesn't really matter, but not heard anybody talking about it now, and I now kind of know why. So there's that. I have The Love Hypothesis, which I think I've bought about 3 copies of these, and I don't know why. I read this one and I actually really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as Love on the Brain for me, but it's still a really nice read. And most of her books are about women in STEM, apart from Bride and maybe even Check and Mate. I don't think that's a STEM book, but I really like this one and I kept it. And then I think I sold it, and then I went in the charity shop and found it again, and I thought, right, just pick it up and keep it on your shelf because I really enjoyed this book. We have The Key to My Heart. This is a really nice read. I absolutely love this read. If you are looking for a spicy book though, this is not it, because there's just nothing in it. But it talks about grief and the way that they deal with it and everything, and it's just so nice and heartwarming. I love this book, and I think I read this within a couple of days as well. This is just, I loved it. A lot of people said they didn't like it, but I loved it. So this one is one of my favourites. If I do like a book and I have kept it on here and it's been like a 5-star or something I'm gonna reread again, I will keep it on my trolley because I just like to reread books, and if I really like a book I will keep it. We have With This Kiss. Now With This Kiss is again not a spicy story. It has a few bits but not majorly. It focuses on more family rather than the love side of it. And this, again, a lot of people gave negative reviews on this, but I really loved this. And I love the fact that she had this special power, and even though it was kind of like not necessarily a bad power, but it was basically where when she kisses somebody she'll find out how they die, and she learns to cope with it, and it is a really good story and I really like that one, so we have that. Then I have the Shatter Me series, which I have Unravel Me, Restore Me, Ignite Me, Defy Me, and obviously Shatter Me. I picked these up in the charity shop for £2 each. I am not a fantasy girl, but you never know, we might like to swap it up a bit. I have heard a lot of good things about this series, and a lot of people have said it's really good, so I just thought, you know what, for £2 each, can't really complain, and let's see if it's any good. So yeah. Then I've also got Jojo Moyes, Me Before You, because I really like the film, and I thought, you know what, let's read the book, because sometimes the book and the film can be slightly different. I have read To All the Boys I've Loved Before and obviously watched the films. There is slight differences in it, but again, both of them are really nice. And then the after series as well, I've watched the films and I've read the books. Well, kind of watched one film and then decided to read the books and then watch the films afterward, the rest of the films afterwards, and I really liked them. So I kind of wanted to read the book again. I think if I really like a film and it's got a book to it, then I don't mind reading the book because I want to see the similarities in it. Same as It Ends With Us, I read the book way before the film came out. Didn't particularly love the film, but I wanted to see the two comparisons, and normally the book is usually better than the film, but anyway. Then at the bottom we have some more, which I'm going to put you down so you can actually see. So we have some more little books of crystals and, you know, chakras and stuff, which these are all from the works, and I think there was about £2 or something. So I've got the little book for crystal lovers, I have the little books of chakras, and Moon Astrologer. I love this sort of stuff, so I always like to keep my little books as well, so I've got those on there. Then I have all of the after series. I've got After We Fell, After We Cloud, and After Ever Happy. Like I said, I love these stories, and when I found them in a charity shop I thought I'm going to pick them up again because eventually I do want to reread them. And the only one I don't have is Before Forever, which is the last one in it. I did own these before. I got them for Christmas, I read them, and then I sold them and then watched all the films. And then I was like, actually, maybe I do want to reread them again. So I had After We Collided for a very long time and I couldn't find the rest of them. And then all of a sudden, the other ones were in the shop at the same time. And I was like, oh, must be a coincidence that they're all together. So I picked them up in the charity shop. I think it was like £2.50 each or £1.50 or something like that. So kept them all together. I have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. As much as it's not a bad book, I wouldn't say it was a bad book. I did originally rate it like 4 stars, but then I downgraded it to like 3.5 just because I didn't know what was going on, some of it, and I thought this is a bit confusing. But now, once I read it and I found out that it was part of a series, I was like, well, that's why. So yes, I have that, and I wanted to keep it in case I liked the rest of the stories. I love the cover. My favourite cover is this, and obviously the book relates to the cover, which is nice. So I have that one, and the one thing in this though is the lollipop scene, and I think everybody says it. What is the lollipop scene? What on earth is that? What is that? We also have Twisted Love. Like I said, this is the first one in Twisted series. It's the only one I read, and I actually quite enjoyed it. There was so much hype on Book Talk, and I thought, you know, it's not really going to be the best book in the world, but it's not a bad story. I gave it 4 stars when I read it, so not the worst, but not the like my favourite. But I thought we'll keep it, and then if I want to get rid of them, I'll get rid of them altogether if I don't like them. So that's why I kept some of the books that I've read in a series that I've not read the rest of them to, because if I am to get rid of them like on Vinted or in charity shop, I'd rather get rid of them with the series, if that makes sense, so somebody else can pick them up, if you know what I mean. I actually thought I got rid of this book a while ago because I DNF'd it. This is called Love Struck, and it was written in 3rd person for one, but it was really just not a bit of me, and I thought I can't keep reading it. And I've learnt that from reading again, I thought, oh, I just want to get books off my TBR. But now, if I don't like a book, if I've read at least 10 chapters or so, and I don't like it, and I'm not picking it up, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to pick it up, then I think, no, close the book, leave it, and DNF it, because you're going to put yourself in a slump if you do that. So that is what I did with this one. I can't even remember what it was fucking about, to be honest. But it just wasn't for me, and I thought I'd got rid of it, and then I found it the other day. I was like, oh, well, maybe I didn't. So that will be in a hunt, or probably an unhaul very soon. And then we have 3 more books. We have Forget Me Not. I actually rate this 5 stars. Now, I weren't going to. I only rated it 5 stars for the ending of it, I think, and the fact that I wanted to keep reading it. And there was a point in it where I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this book. And then I started to read it a little bit more and a little bit more. And I thought, oh, I need to know what happens now. So I did give it 5 stars. But I believe now I will probably give it about 4 stars. Not a bad book though. Not a bad story. The last 2 books on my book trolley are 2 of my favourite books. I have Set On You. This one, what I was talking about earlier, my favourite one. 2 Wrongs Make a Right. I've read this book twice. And I will more than happily read it more than once, and twice, and 3 times, and 4 times. I'll read it over and over again. I love this book. Set On You, again, I've only read once, but I really like this because this was the first book that I read that talks about a plus size girl and a man that's a bit more fit. But if you read the story, you understand that they're not always how they were, if you know what I mean. So I like this story. This was cute. This was a little bit spicy, and it just, yeah, I really like this story. Now, there is a second book to this one, and it was called, can't remember what it was called, but her sister basically gets with somebody else. Crystal and, I can't remember, X's and O's, that was it. The book was called X's Nose, and Crystal in that story really got on my nerves. In this story she's fine, but in the other one she really got on my wick, and I thought, why are you dictating to her? Why are you talking like that? This story, she weren't even like that. She was absolutely fine. So I don't know why she changed the character as such, or whether it was from her side, I don't know, but she just really got on my tits in the last story. So yeah, but in this one she's absolutely fine, but in the other one, no. So yeah, they are them, and then that is it, I think. And currently, as I'm filming this video, there is Say You Swear that's up there, but that's currently what I'm reading. And I've also read my first Frida McFadden book, which we'll talk about in another video. So that is my book trolley tour. I have, like I say, a lot of books on here, and this is the only way that I can store my books because I don't have any room to store anywhere else. A lot of people do use these as a TBR trolley, so when they want to put a TBR list for October or November or December or whatever, they will use it like that. But this is basically where I store all of my books because I have no other room for them. And I used to have a bookshelf, like I said, but I just don't, I can't have it anymore. And this was a easier and more simplified, compact way to keep all of my books. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.